Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about DHFL scam, who audited and rated our trust. Between 2010 and 2019, Dewan Housing Finance Corporation Limited, known as DHFL, was celebrated as one of India's most trusted housing finance companies. It had AAA ratings, credit ratings, clean audit reports, and was a household name in affordable housing. To millions of Indians, it symbolized safety, stability, and trust. But behind this glittering facade, one of India's largest financial frauds was quietly unfolding. Crores of rupees were allegedly siphoned off through shell companies, fictitious loan accounts, and fraudulent accounting practices. Funds that, according to several reports, were even linked to political charity or political patronage and suspected terror financing channels involving underworld gangs like Dawood Ibrahim and Iqbal Mirchi, with allegations pointing towards beneficiaries connected to the BJP itself. And yet, the very institutions designed to safeguard the system, auditors like Chaturvedi and Shah LLP, and credit rating agencies such as CARE, ICRA, and CRISIL, kept reassuring the public that everything was perfectly fine. Sab changa si. This was not just corporate failure. It was a betrayal and breach of trust. Lakhs of ordinary people, lakhs, senior citizens, physically challenged persons, Uttar Pradesh Power Corporation Limited employees, philanthropic institutions, widows of Indian Army personnel, pensioners, salaried professionals invested their hard-earned life savings in this DHFL, guided by these glowing reports and ratings. For them, these were not just financial products, they were their security, their children's education, their retirement plans, their very sense of dignity. When DHFL collapsed, all these families were left with nothing but haircut ashes. As the RBI appointed Committee of Creditors or COC-led resolution process yielded only crumbs for these small depositors, while the lion's share went to the corporate acquirer, Mr. Ajay Piramal, raising serious questions of fairness and transparency. Meanwhile, while super-rich willful defaulters saw their loans simply written off or waived off, DHFL, an ongoing profitable concern with millions of vulnerable depositors, was handed over to private corporate players through what appears to be a carefully orchestrated bidding war, rather than being entrusted to public sector units that could have safeguarded public money and ensured just compensation for victims. Was this maneuver designed or scripted to legitimize or justify a heavily amended, internally contradictory insolvency and bankruptcy code, that is the IBC, where the victims were and are treated just like laboratory guinea pigs for experimentation? Hence, what should have been an AAA-rated trust turned into an AAA-rated tragedy. So what went wrong? Auditors and rating agencies failed to detect or flag irregularities. They overlooked or ignored or fell asleep, round-tripping related party deals, shell companies, and the evergreening of loans. In doing so, they violated, allegedly, not just professional standards under the Companies Act and the ICAI Code of Ethics, but also their moral responsibility to society at large. Credit rating agencies continued to award DHFL the highest ratings, AAA, until almost the very moment of default. They dismissed or ignored whistleblower complaints, falling asset quality, and obvious red flags in the NBFC sector at that time in 2019. In doing so, they suggestively failed in their duty under SEBI's CRA regulations and betrayed the very trust that ratings are supposed to represent to the people, to the citizens. This was not mere oversight, my friends. It seems like complicity, politically scripted complicity through negligence. A system designed to protect small investors instead enabled fraud on an industrial scale. Even after the collapse, the betrayal continues till today. I must tell you that. Repeated RTI appeals by our once in a blue moon academia, the OBMA, to the RBI, CAG, and the IBBI, seeking transparency on how the Committee of Creditors spent its funds, its expenditures, conducted its voting process, and maintained its minutes during the corporate insolvency resolution process of the DHFL. But these queries by OBMA have been consistently stonewalled or left unanswered. Can you understand the depth of this situation? Depositors, ordinary citizens who lost everything, not even allowed to see how money was spent or how decisions were made about their futures. This secrecy, this will to hide, this opacity is not just unethical, it is undemocratic in principle. Transparent accountability is the bare minimum that the victims deserve. That is why we are demanding justice, truth, and accountability. We are demanding 1. Disciplinary action to be taken against allegedly negligent auditors and complicit credit rating agencies. Further reinforcing this call for accountability, we are reminded how the National Financial Reporting Authority, NFRA for short, had earlier imposed stringent penalties on auditors for lapses in DHFL's financial year 18 audits. In December 2023, the NFRA banned Jignesh Mehta for 10 years and Amit Vinay Chaturvedi for 5 years. Each fined 5 lakh rupees for gross negligence and failure to apply professional skepticism or the margin of doubt during their audits of the DHFL. These are among the severest punishments extended by the NFRA to DHFL auditors in various cases of misconduct. NFRA's investigation revealed also serious misconduct in Chaturvedi's branch audits across at least 5 DHFL branches, highlighting systemic failures at the audit level. We are also demanding restitution, that is, compensation with interest for the DHFL victims, the DHFL small depositors, funded by penalties on those who failed to perform their officiated duty. This demand is now grounded in a landmark court ruling. On 31st July 2025, the Chandigarh State Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission held that Catalyst Trusteeship Limited, Care Ratings and Brickwork Ratings were liable for negligence in the DHFL case, ordering them to compensate an investor named Jyoti Khemka with interest, marking for the first time that intermediaries, not just the defaulter or the corporate acquirer, were held accountable and were made to pay for their severe lapse in duty. This precedent opens a new avenue of justice for all the DHFL victims, enabling them to pressurize and pursue trustees, rating agencies, auditors, and other gatekeepers, not merely the insolvent company itself, for the recovery of their huge, massive losses. We also are demanding transparency. That is, the mandatory disclosure of DHFL COC's minutes, the COC votings and COC expenditures, also the RBI and NHB inspection reports and the working papers of auditors. We are again demanding structural reforms in terms of auditor rotation, an end to the issuer pays model for rating agencies, strengthening of NFRA, and creation of early warning systems to protect future investors. These are not just technical quick fixes, they are moral imperatives. Because what happened with DHFL is not an isolated case. It reflects a deeper rot in our financial governance system. A system where white-collar impunity tramples ordinary families. We are not asking for vengeance against any one person. We are asking for justice, the whole justice, for truth and for accountability. Let AAA once again stand for trust, not tragedy. Let us ensure that never again do ordinary Indians, mothers, fathers, grandparents and their children lose their life savings because those in power chose silence over responsibility. If you believe in the power of justice, if you believe ordinary families deserve their dignity back, please sign the petition link given in the video description box below. Share it widely. Stand with the victims of DHFL. Together, we can ensure that this betrayal is not forgotten or removed from public memory and that such a scam never takes place again. Like, comment, share this video and subscribe to our channel. Show your solidarity with the DHFL victims openly in their fight for justice in an India that is run by corporate interests instead of people's rightful demands. Thank you for watching. See you again at the crossroads of our web-based, non-violent civil disobedience movement. Thank you.